Round two of the GOP's fight for tax reform began today as lead Congressman Kevin Brady and his committee started marking up the process. That budget that the House approved 2 weeks ago to pave the way for tax reform narrowly passed. 20 Republicans voted no. Now Brady and his compadres don't have a lot of wiggle room. Now meanwhile, Senate Republicans now writing their own tax bill, and they have a thinner majority than the House, so the debate in that chamber could get even thornier. To top it all off, Republicans facing a tight timeline with the president expecting a bill by Christmas. So what are the biggest challenges the GOP faces getting tax reform done? Let me ask Chief Investment Officer of Kingsview Asset Management and Fox News contributor Scott Martin. Welcome back, Scott.
Hey, missed ya.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. So what are the Republicans in the Senate going to do with this House bill?
You know, Kennedy, I wish they knew. I'll tell you, they're going to chop it up quite a bit. And here's the thing. You know, you mentioned on the lead in here, there's a lot of things at work here, whether it's the state and local tax deductions, whether it's the student loan interest deductions, whether it's the plan to treat some businesses better with respect to pass-throughs, but how they itemize their deductions is another discussion, too. You know, there's a lot of things at play here that still need to work themselves out. And you made a very good point about this timeline. My goodness, we're a few weeks away, and it seems like we are so far away on getting the final details, aren't we?
Yeah, it really does, and it seems like there are some pretty big issues that could really blow up those razor-thin margins that I talked about. So what is the solution for those SALT states, those state and local deductions in places like New York, New Jersey, and California? What can GOP leadership do to appease lawmakers in those states?
Well, you know what they can actually do, I'll tell you, is those states, Kennedy, can get their houses in order. I think is one thing. I mean, I live in a high-tax state, too, here in Illinois. And a lot of the problems that these states have is they have terrible budget situations. You know, they have some of the worst credit ratings in the United States as far as other states in the union. And if you look at how high these tax states are, those are the ones that are in the most trouble. So they need to get it together.
Yeah, that's a really good point. No, that's absolutely right, because when you spend this much money, when you tax this much, you're not necessarily doing any sort of a service to the citizens who live there. And as you have pointed out, poverty has actually grown in those states.
They have, and that's very true. And it's funny how the citizens are the ones that get punished. And you know what else happens, Kennedy? Those businesses leave. I have a lot of friends and colleagues who have taken their business out of Illinois to Indiana and Wisconsin. They have ads on TV thanking the state of Illinois for the business increases that our neighbor states have had. And so that's a problem the states have. But I'll tell you something else that's interesting.
Texas is doing the same thing with California. They're creating the kind of business environment that is much more amenable to small businesses in California, and they pick up shop and move to Texas.
Very true. And I want to add a little, I guess, fun to the party punch here. This tax plan does have a good effort underneath it, which is we need to treat businesses better in this United States here. We need to have more hiring, more incentive to pay people more. We need to have more incentive for research and development, capital spending. That starts with lower tax rates, which we have not seen in the past decades. So this is a good start, but working out the details obviously is proving a lot more troublesome.
Yeah, and we'll see if the two houses can get their houses in order, because so far it looks like we're still on a collision course with disaster. Scott, keep us posted. Thank you so much.
See ya.